Heyo, my Planet Coaster friends, Johnny5 Alive here, and we're back with another episode of Coaster Spotlight. And in today's video, we're going to be looking at the ruins created by Floss, and she's joined here with me.
Hello.
So, stay tuned, and let's check it out. So this was sent in by one of our Discord master builders and silver patrons. Thank you so much for your support, Floss.
You're welcome. Glad to support the channel.
Awesome. She says, "Hey Johnny, I made a coaster. This is my first coaster blueprint in a long time, and my first attempt at a winged coaster with a few custom inversions. Ruins. A once-strong, prosperous castle suddenly fell into despair and became entangled and pulled apart by vines. Some say the castle was built on the grave of an angry drifter, furious from beyond the grave, and Drifter rose from the earth and brought the vines with him, destroying the castle and all those within. They say the Drifter can be still seen roaming the grounds." Please plop down part... Please plop part 1 down first, then part 2. Instructions are in the blueprints and should line up no problem. Can be ridden both at day and night. Any seat, although I think track view is the smoothest. Thanks for everything, Johnny. I'm inspired every day by the amazing work in this community and have a lot of love for everyone here. The advice, the laughter, and the ridiculousness. Keep up the amazing things you do. Floss. Thank you so much, Floss. And she says, I also want to give a big shout out and huge thanks to Fubar for creating a video to accompany the blueprints on Steam. We actually just featured him in the last episode, or I guess
yes,
3 episodes ago if you guys are watching this now. Quadruple dueling coaster. That was pretty cool. All right.
Yeah, that's great.
So, one thing I did want to mention to you, Floss, you have the workshop page part 1 and part 2, and in part 1 you have a link in the description saying download part 2 here. You can actually do this nice little feature called required DLC, and when people subscribe to part 1, it says you must subscribe to part 2, and it takes you to the page.
Oh, that's clever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you very much.
I'll have to show you how to do that. Yeah, I'm going to have to try and remember myself.
Is it like when you add, you have to have the spooky DLC? Is it in the same place? Is it like when you add that?
Let's see here, because I can't really do it to yours because it's not my workshop item, but I think it's somewhere in the settings, and and then you can say this item requires the following DLC, but you select a blueprint instead of the DLC. It's a little different than the DLC because it doesn't show up in the actual download content. The game automatically recognizes if you use spooky DLC, whereas this is like a, goes with a matching part sort of thing.
Yes, yeah.
But yeah,
there's an extra thing, isn't it, on the side that you can, because the game recognizes that it picks up the DLC, but also you can put that little picture on the side, which someone showed me, which I didn't realize either.
Right, and people might just, derp out, download part 1 and think that's it, but when they hit the subscribe button, it's going to force them to subscribe to both, and I think that's a good thing to do there.
That's a nice idea.
I'll show you how to do that after.
We'll play around and find that.
Yeah,
okay.
And so,
great.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about your coaster. This is a little bit interesting. It's the ruins, the destruction. You certainly love your destruction.
Yes, and vines and vines and vines. Hours
must have
and
taken a while.
Of vines and vines and vines. Yes, and I didn't just want to randomly place them down, so I had to advance move and sink them, and vines. That's why it's 2 blueprints as well. It was. I was going to try and do it in 4K, but I only did one side, and I thought I can't have the back bare.
Yeah, I'm showing off footage right now.
A few pieces.
With the new way we're doing things, you guys are just going to be seeing footage, but I am selecting the coaster right now, and it's 6,200 pieces. So just about 1.5 blueprints here. I did not set this up.
Yeah.
You did a park file, so I don't know exactly how difficult it was to set up in a line, but I seen you did a whole bunch of instructions, so I think it should be pretty...
it's quite easy.
Yeah.
I've done it a few times now, and it always seems to match up. If you click the flatten terrain toggle button thing off,
right,
then it should work, no problem.
Yeah, it depends on how many alignment tools you had. I noticed you did a little bit of a checkerboard, so you have to align 4 cubes, right? Or am I wrong?
Well, I stole it from Fubar. That just for, so there's opposite. So there's one and then there's another. So there's only 2. You see what I mean? And you line both up.
But as long as you tested it a few times, you have 2 alignment tools. I think it should be pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think so. Yeah.
Ruins. What made you decide to tackle this? Because I think this is a pretty scary theme. It's very non-native to Planet Coaster. It's very unique and a little bit scary. So what made you decide? Hey, I'm gonna.
Excellent.
tackle vines and destruction?
Well, it was spooky DLC happened, and I thought I want to make things out of that.
Right.
And then it began as I made a church last Halloween, spooky church.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought I wanted to do an upgrade. And this is how I build. And I just started building walls and parts of churches and looking at pictures of churches. And I built a facade and thought, I quite like that. And built the windows.
The windows are really nice because you custom crafted those with little bricks and actual panes of windows. That's really cool looking.
Yeah. I deleted one. I think it was actually by accident. I deleted one and thought, ooh, actually, that starts looking like a broken window. But then, and this is quite unusual and like I've never built before. I just got the whole facade then I built the coaster and just
So you built the main structure first, or you built
whole coaster first.
Oh, you did build the coaster first and then built around it.
I got the facade that already built of the church and just plopped it down and thought, well, that's all right. And then I copied it and plopped it down again and just kept grabbing bits and then separating it from the building and just grabbing sections of that same facade,
right,
but only sections of it, and just mushing it together. And then got my spooky church from last time and again broke that up a bit and just mushed that together. So I didn't sort of set out to build a building. I just kept mushing bits together.
The thing that's so brilliant about this is it looks like it makes sense, but it also doesn't. And that's kind of like the way destruction works. You kind of have to you can't just build something and then destroy it after. You kind of have to piece it together, like the way you said, mush things together. And when it all comes together, from a distance, you're like, yeah, that makes sense. That was once a building. So I always struggle with that kind of stuff because I'm a little bit more modular thinking. I'm a very meat and potatoes kind of thought process behind things. And when I see people doing steampunk and destruction, I'm just kind of like, where do you start? I'm not willing to get messy in the kitchen, kind of, so to speak. I want to follow a recipe. I want to mark out my plan and then follow that and execute on that. So I'm always really surprised at your creations because you always tackle these crazy destruction things, and as well as you did some steampunk in the past. So I'm always like, oh God, it's crazy to me.
Well, I make a lot of mess in the kitchen. If you see me making a cake, I'm a very messy chef, a very messy builder, and just
flour
a very
in your
messy
hair.
Person. Oh, completely. Everything,
paste all over the countertops.
I actually sing, I'm making a mess whenever I make a cake, build a cake, make a cake. So yeah, it's quite fitting that I'm messy in this game as well.
Awesome. So
but it kind of worked, and then afterwards, then I go through and add sort of support vines, and then add leaning things, and then remove bits of wall, and again just select bits and delete things and mush it about even more.
Right.
And then just add vines and vines and vines and vines and vines.
Let's talk about your nighttime lighting. You got this eerie purple and green going on here. Any reason you decided to go with that?
Well, I wanted green. Bless you.
Nobody else heard that. I hit mute,
especially with
but
the
I
vines.
sneezed.
Oh.
Everyone's like, why should you say that?
Saying bless you.
I'm still a bit
just in case the demon comes and gets me.
There you go.
It's quite fitting talking about green lighting now, but so I wanted green because of the vines, and it's the vines are coming out of the earth, and
right.
So I wanted it green, and then thought I want to put other colours, but don't want it to be crazy. And I was chatting to Fubar again. I was talking about the video, and he said add some purple. That's a good idea. So I did.
Purple's naturally a good spooky color, I think. It's also a mystical color.
Yeah.
You have a little bit of pink in back here. I think, is that random? There's a tiny bit of pink.
It's a little bit of orange, which is sort of merged with the purple.
Oh, I see.
I can't remember why I did that, actually. Oh, do you know, this is, again, it's me just being messy. I think I sunk a light and then I couldn't find it and thought, I'll get that later, and didn't.
Well, I think also you had some chandeliers, so maybe they're giving off some orange, creating some pink.
Yes, there is definitely also an orange spotlight in there somewhere as well.
Awesome. So you said you got some demons or something working. I didn't know what was that all about. You said you wanted me to use the park file because of the demons, so we got some triggered events or some hidden ghoulies somewhere?
Yeah, it's only because, gosh, I really sound so messy at the moment. The the blueprints, for some reason, the demons were not selected, or so they didn't actually go into the blueprint. So when I was watching, I think it was on the Planet Coaster live stream when they showed it, I'm thinking, how aren't any of the demons showing? And then I realised that for some reason I hadn't saved them.
So are they in there now in the updated blueprint?
No, I don't think I've got around to doing that yet.
Oh, that's all right. I guess we're going to see them here.
It's only a time. You only see them for a split second. If you not even see them, they don't add or take away or anything for the coaster, I don't think.
All right.
So
awesome. So, what was the last blueprint you did do? Because I know you've been doing all these like group projects and things. And Thar, or what was it? Not Thar.
We did the sci-fi.
Your last coasters have been like parks. I'm trying to think of a blueprint that you did that I featured, and I'm gonna have to pull up your workshop. It's been a while, hasn't it?
Ooh, it has been. I have been doing quite a lot of flat ride skins. I got into doing those for a while.
I think the last one I might have featured might have been a go-kart.
I think it might be, yeah. Or the Drunken Sailor.
Drunken Sailor, I definitely remember. Maybe Drunken Sailor.
Roller Coaster. Last coaster.
That was 150 episodes ago, I feel.
I think so,
but
yeah.
You've done plenty of like crazy big projects. You did Badlands, Skull Island. What else was there?
The Sci-Fi Raceway.
Sci-Fi Raceway, that was pretty crazy.
Thing, yeah.
What's this new one?
Really
Spider Spinner.
Really got into my ride skins. Yeah, with spider eggs with bonbons.
That's awesome. All right. So there it is. Should we give it a ride now?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's take a peek at the ride stats, everybody. We got a 6.41 excitement, 4.3 fear, and a 1.42 nausea. 1,350 meters in length, 100 seconds of duration. Here's all the rest of the stats, guys. Oh, and it's also a winged coaster. Got a Black Falcon. Do you want us to start at day or night?
I think so. I think day.
Okay,
Day. Even though it's spooky, I don't know why. I think with the vines and the green and the grey, I don't know, and the mist, I prefer it.
Any particular seat you want to ride?
I do prefer track view, but all seats are fine.
It's a winged coaster, you sure?
Okay, it's just not as smooth, but yeah, no, stay where you are. It's fine.
We could do both. I don't mind. Let's get more content. We'll go track, and then we'll ride it and see, and then we'll do cinematic. Now, hopefully the FPS is fine because we are sharing on Discord, and I don't know if that affects anything.
Looks fine to me.
I got another sneeze coming. Oh no, my eyes are watering. So much detail in this. It's incredible. I much like the daylighting too, because it's the way the sun shines through all the little bits and broken pieces. It's really nice. It's very smooth.
It's been a long time smoothing, especially making sure.
I love how you got the vines holding up the coaster as supports. Oh, there's the Greebly.
There he is. You see what I mean? It doesn't really matter if he's not there.
You were saying demons, and I thought you made some kind of sculpture.
Oh, I see.
Little
ghosts.
Right,
no, oh, yeah, those things.
Oh, what was it? The rats on the track. Get some floating mice over there.
Oh, really? Oops.
I gotta take a closer look at that. Oh, maybe they just ran off course or something. Yeah, these guys. They're flying.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they are.
Okay. Hello.
This is going to be the real test of twigs in the face.
Yeah, we're gonna hit all the twigs.
Oh, I shouldn't do. I've ridden it a lot of times. All the seats.
It's good to always QA stuff.
Making sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, we got a Palmer. not want to be the maintenance guy on this coaster. Yeah, the lighting. I love the sunlight on this one. Oh, there was another one in the grave. Oh, and there too.
Another one.
Ah, hit my head on that one.
Just threw cloth at the so I thought that would be alright.
Does cinematic work on this one? You got a lot of things touching it.
Yes, some shots are alright, but there's a lot of walls in the face. But some shots are quite nice.
Well, usually if you have something touching the track, the camera just freaks out and says, "Let me go on a track view."
Oh, I see what you mean. No, it's alright. It allows it. It's like with the Sci-Fi coaster we did. It wouldn't let me do cinematic at all because we covered the whole thing in road. So we just went, what? Just didn't let cinematic.
I was surprised you guys didn't use a actual track for that.
When you said that in the video, I thought that's a good idea. Yeah, just didn't think about that at all.
More of a time saver than anything. But I think it would be even better now that we have that really thick motion track ride, because it's perfectly flat black. Because the go-karts have tires on the side, and it's not nearly as appealing.
True, we'd have had to cover those up.
Yeah.
Which then would have been quite a lot of time and pieces anyway. The tarmac still would have looked nice.
Now one day they need to give us no collision on pathing, so we can Carmageddon this. Just have coasters running through paths of people. Sprint 500.
Definitely.
We need a Carmageddon coaster.
Yeah. But it would also be really good for railway crossings and things if you had no collision. You could make little tracks going over the road. I think that would be nice. And Carmageddon, yeah.
Let's try. Whoops. Let's try back here.
I do like this beginning bit where it flips you.
Look at the lighting there.
At the, don't think I've ever ridden it from the back.
The design on these seats is very much something like you see in Batman. These seats.
What Batman?
I feel like Bruce Wayne designed this vehicle or this train.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. Oh yeah, they like his arm things.
I very much like this perspective.
Yes, I like this one. Let's see. Like how it tips you over the queue.
shot.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
I also like the music you picked. It's my favorite spooky song in the game. Works perfectly. When we did the Halloween contest, so many people picked that carnival song. I was losing my mind by the end of it. Thought I was going to turn into a crazy clown.
Yeah, I heard you saying, and here's the song again. Or, it's the song.
You should have heard me off camera. Right, there it is, everybody. Amazing job on this, Floss. I mean, really unique and original. Never seen anything quite like this before, so you definitely win the originality points today.
Thanks.
That is quite something. You can barely read the sign. It's so overgrown. It's great. Alrighty.
Do you like the signs?
Last thing I got to ask you, did you? I know you've been away for a while. Did you check out the next contest? Does that pique your interest here? Because
does, and I'm in ideas stage still. I've sort of got the film right from the beginning. I had an idea of the film because I think it would be really cool if I can pull it off. So I'm just testing things at the moment and figuring out how I'm going to do it.
Yeah, because now you got you just cranked out this blueprint, and now you got you're in the blueprint rhythm. So love to see you keep that going there. So awesome stuff today, Floss. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me, as always.
Yeah, and that's going to do it for this episode of Coaster Spotlight, everybody. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please be sure to smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe for more daily Planet Coaster videos. If you guys would like to support the show and keep it going, you can do so by becoming a patron. All right, everybody. I hope you all have a wonderful day, as well as you, Floss.
Thanks, and you.
And we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye now.
Bye now.
There we go.